Afternoon guys, I'm talking today about classes versus personal training. Now, I don't want you to think because I'm a personal trainer I'm going to be all pro personal training, because I'm not, because I am actually an instructor at the same time. So I do teach classes every week myself, and I teach a real different variety of classes. However, I do like to try and see different people in my classes, because I don't like people to try and stay for more than one, because I always like people to give 100% in one class and then 100% in another class, not 50% in one class and then an hour later another 50%. Because I don't want you to waste your time. I want you to utilise your time in your classes and get the right out of your workouts. Alright, so I am going to start with classes because I enjoy teaching classes, and I know a lot of people enjoy going to classes because you get that little extra push. They're always varied. There's always those new releases that come out. They're fun, they're social, you meet new people. You also get to see people's journeys. Like someone might come and they're a size 16, in a couple of weeks they're a size 14, then they're a size 12, and you're all like, amazing, you've done really well. But also there's that like other side of things of like poor technique and not putting in enough energy, and sometimes you just don't want to be shouted at by your instructor, and you can result in like short hamstrings, and muscles can grow in places that you don't really want there to be muscles. Recently we've been talking a lot about our traps in classes. A few people in my class, in my pump class, have noticed that this part of their shoulders are starting to grow, and they don't want that. They don't want it any bigger than it is. They, for example, I have overactive traps, so I don't like to do. I wouldn't do shrugs or anything like that because they would grow quite quickly. And I'm doing a release at the moment where you're bent forward and you're doing a back exercise and a lat pull down, and I have to constantly remind people, like, don't sit yourself up, because if you lift yourselves up you're going to get all shoulders and all traps, and we don't want them growing. So yeah, poor technique. If instructors aren't shouting at you and aren't reminding you about certain things, that means someone or no one is doing it wrong. But there's always someone who's doing it slightly wrong, or someone who's trying to cheat it because they don't want to go through the pain. But a lot of classes are always like 3-4 minutes, like tracks are 3-4 minute long. So you have to put 100% into that 4-minute track or 6-minute track to get the most out of it, because you're probably not going to go and touch that muscle again. For example, in a pump class, you're only going to do back 1 track. You might get a week where instructors bringing in 2 because they like the 2 tracks or something, or they want to do something a little bit different. Fine, but normally you're going to do legs, chest, back. You're going to go through the same order that's normal, because instructors will teach that way, and they'll only change it if they're up on a mashup week or they want to change what they're doing. It's normally instructors' protocol if they're a little bit bored. I say, let's make it different. But also, poor technique's really common. It's not just about like muscle growth, it's not just about those sort of issues, it's also things like deadlifts. Let's do squats actually, because squats are really common. That in pump, for example, you'll have your back across the squishy part on the top of your back, and you hold your bar with your arms. Give your bar to someone new in a class. That bar's not going to be there, it's going to be around here on their neck, and you're almost screaming from the front of the class going, get that bar off your neck. And they're also tipping their neck back, and they're kind of holding the bar with the bottom of their head. You almost want to walk over there and take the bar off them with fear. There's only so many times you can shout it, so you'll go and take the bar off them eventually. But squats are not just in pump, squats are in every class. How many times do you see people's feet too narrow, or their knees are not going over their feet, or their ankles are caving in at the bottom, or their feet are too far out and they're not going down at low, or people are dropping their chests and their bums are staying up? So many times. And you know what? You're screaming it from the class, and you're telling people over and over and over again, because actually the person who's probably the most experienced might be the one who's getting it wrong this time. But because they're used to not being shouted at, and you're normally shouting at the new people at the back, you're not listening, because you think, oh, that's not me, because I'm too perfect. But do you know what? When an instructor's talking in a class, always make sure you've got your ears on. Do not go into autopilot in classes, because things change, intensity changes, and always keep it up to date. I've personally hurt myself in a class simply because I didn't listen and my calves were too tight. I could feel the pain. The instructor told me to slow down slightly, or told the whole class, I thought it was me, that to slow down if I was feeling pain. But everyone around me was jumping, so I did. And yeah, that was the most painful time having a boot on I've ever had. Not all classes are bad, and that's not the point of this blog. Not all classes are bad, not at all. Spinning's a great class. Anything cardio related, attack, Zumba, if you like dance, for example. There's other variations of dance type classes. There's body combat, which is it's got a high cardio rate on it. They're all great, they're all varied, there's always new releases on them, always good fun, always a high burn. But after a couple of months, when you realise that you're not getting that perfect, women are supposed to be in X's. We're supposed to have a nice upper body, goes nice into our waist and it goes out. We can design that with weights, but you can't design it when you're doing 1,000 classes a day or a week and you're ending up with a body that's going straight down, because all you're doing is toning up what's there and you're not actually pushing it, because no one's there to push you a little bit further, and you're doing so much cardio that you're not actually sculpting your body at all. Personal training, a little bit different, more one-to-one, not so groupish, unless you've got personal trainer that does group classes or group, like a buddy system, which I know loads of us do. But there's your friend, you've got the personal trainer. Vent to that personal trainer, tell your personal trainer you've had a bad day. Give it to that personal trainer and make the personal trainer use that energy to get your workout bigger and better. Your workout's always going to be varied. You'll probably really rarely do the same thing with your personal trainer, because they'll always want to do something different, because they don't want to be bored either. It's always targeted to what you want. You want to build a bum, that personal trainer will build your bum. You want to get that nice X shape, your personal trainer will build their plan to make that X shape. It is all planned for you. Your whole week could physically be planned for you, that you're going to see your personal trainer 3 times a week, and you're going to do 2 workouts because they've given them to you as well. You're going to do it. They've got accountability for it, because if you don't do it, they're going to know. They're going to know that you haven't done it because you haven't done your homework. It's just like going back to school, you haven't done your homework and you've got a test. They're going to know you haven't done your homework. Your personal trainer will know that you haven't done your homework because you've turned up and you don't have any idea what you're doing. Or you're not aching in the places that should be aching. So there's that accountability factor. Unless the class affects the instructor, for example, if low numbers affects an instructor, they'll be worried that you're not there because it's another number down. But unless it's like that, or it's just a club and they've paid the instructor whatever, that instructor doesn't care if you're not there. Like, really doesn't. If they've still got their 20 people in the classroom, they're not bothered. They might tell you that they're really bothered, and they may ask you if you're okay and if everything's fine. That's those caring instructors that really, really want to care for you. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to get an instructor that's like, oh yeah, you weren't here last week. Yeah, they're not, the accountability's not there. You're not going to be texting them saying, I'm really sorry I can't come today. Or you're not going to be ringing them and saying, like, with a good reason why you can't go. But when you've got personal training, you have to ring them like you're ringing up for work sick to say, I'm really sorry I can't make it. You have to do that. So there's good sides, there's bad sides to both. Personal training's more expensive, yes. Personal training's more targeted, yes. Classes are cheaper and they go over membership, yes. But there's no accountability and the workout's not designed for you, personally. So there's positives and there's negatives. Just don't rule out personal training because it's more pricey, because they might be able to help you. Pay a personal trainer a couple of quid just to tell them your goals and what classes could help you. Just invest in it. Just get someone to sit there and talk to you and see what's going on. Find a class that you enjoy. Find one that you really enjoy. Go for the first time. Go with a friend. Go with a friend that already goes. Just go and check it out. See if you can fit that in once a week. If you're someone that doesn't like gyms or classes or anything, just go and see if you can fit it in. If you like the instructor, great. If you don't, then maybe find another class that you like the other instructor. Or why don't you tell that new instructor, like, oh, I really like the intensity of that class, I just don't like the way he or she speaks to me. Or yeah, just take the time to have a look. Classes versus personal training. If you've got any questions, let me know. And if there's anything you want me to cover in my blogs, let me know. I've got a list of questions at the moment from other people. So yeah, we'll have a look and I'll get some out to you. Peace.